Welcome back to episode 43 of the ATD Baseball Podcast. We have finally made it. 162 games have been played. All the teams that didn't deserve to be in the playoffs are done. Teams that deserve to be here are here. I'm nervous, but I know it doesn't sound like it, but I'm extremely nervous. But we'll get to that. But full house today, and we're going to be with you for the next couple weeks as we go through this grind of October to see who comes out on top. Same cast as characters as always, myself, Kyle, and Matt. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm ready for postseason baseball, and I get a taste of it right away tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to it. Um, yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm not like Melo. I'm not nervous, and I even have to play a wild card series to advance. So there's a chance I don't even make it to the playoffs as far as Melo, and he didn't even play a game yet. So I'm doing great though. Kyle, how's the no postseason life?
How's the
Listen,
off season?
I'm treading different waters here. This is not what I'm used to. But I'm actually enjoying it. I have no pressure. I love it. It's actually kind of nice for once. Yeah.
Did
Now,
you
yeah, don't make
adopt a
thing of it.
team, a
Did
playoff
I?
team?
Did I? Oh man.
Go Orioles.
No, not the O's.
Go Blue
Okay.
Jays.
Hell no.
Go
Absolutely.
Twins. Go Twins. Come on.
No, man.
Oh.
No. Come on. If I had to pick a team, it'd probably be the Diamondbacks. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Ooh.
Anyway, yeah, I'm different territory here. This is kind of weird for me. Yankees don't make a thing of it, please. I'm okay with it for 1 year, but I expect us back there to next year. But anyway, yeah, I'm doing all right, hanging in there.
All right. Melo, how are you? I mean, you said you're nervous, but
I'm not trying
least,
to.
you're excited?
I'm excited. I'm excited to watch these wild card games because listen, the way the standings had us this year, we probably could have easily been playing in this round too. So I'm glad we won 100 games. I'm glad we won our division. I'm glad we got one of the buys. I get to enjoy these next 3 nights. I'm not going to think about who we're playing until the series is over. For the next couple of nights, I'm just going to enjoy some postseason baseball. But as soon as the Diamondbacks Brewers series is over and we have a winner, I'll start thinking about it. But for right now, I just want to enjoy the games.
Okay. I mean, that's what we're going to be doing is covering the 4 series here. Of course, like you said, Diamondbacks Brewers, Phillies Marlins on the NL side, and then Blue Jays Twins and Rangers Rays on the American League side. 4 very good series. Yeah, so we're just going to dive into it, talk about them a little bit, preview them, and then, of course, make our picks as well. Let's start on the National League side, the series you just mentioned, Diamondbacks and Brewers. Yes, a little preview for Melo here, so he knows what he's getting himself into. The Diamondbacks snuck in.
It's the right
Cubs
word.
choked, sort of. And Brewers were in cruise control most of the season, honestly. But yeah, right off the bat, the Brewers took a major hit. Brandon Woodruff is probably not going to pitch in the postseason at all. And that's tough because he has been electric. He's been dominant the last couple of games. And Corbin Burns, it sucks a little more because Corbin Burns hasn't been himself as of recently either. So, big hit to the Brewers there. Still got Freddie Peralta. Still got Wade Miley. They're comfortable at least with those guys. So, what else, Kyle? What do you got previewing this series?
Yeah, I think you mentioned it, man. I mean, that's a huge hit to the Brewers. I mean, that's got a sting, and going up against this young, fiery team out in Arizona, I don't know. I mean, obviously, we'll get to that in a little bit. I think it's going to be a fun series. I mean, the Brewers, we've been seeing them the last few years. This is kind of familiar territory for them. But I'm excited to watch these Snakes, man. I really am.
Melo?
Diamondbacks got a shot here. I'm not gonna give away my pick yet, but I'm leaning towards the Diamondbacks a little bit here. I've been watching the Diamondbacks, not every game, but I've been watching most of their games when I can. They're not a bad team. They roll out a good lineup. Christian Walker's not bad. Ketel Marte is really good. They got guys that can play, and they got pitching too. I know Zach Allen's not pitching game one. They're going to save him if they're up 1-0 or if they have to fall into elimination game game two. Don't sleep on this Diamondbacks team because all I saw from articles today, from Jeff Passan and some of these other reporters, I think a lot of people are buying into the Brewers going to make a run here. Now, maybe, this definitely takes a hit, with losing Woodruff today. Diamondbacks got a better shot than everybody thinks.
So in the
That's
first
the way I'm
game
leaning.
for the D-backs, they're going to be pitching young pitcher Brandon, I want to say Fott. Strange last name, to be honest with you. PFAADT. And he's been up and down this season. He's had some really good starts. He's had some pretty ugly starts, though, too. He's going to be facing off against the Brewers ace, Corbin Burns. And then game two, like you mentioned, will be Zach Gallen. And then the Brewers didn't announce it yet, but I would guess it would be Freddie Peralta. I would guess. You would assume so. If not, Wade Miley. But D-backs in an interesting spot. They're not going to get Merrill Kelly. And I don't think he'll even be available for game three if it would come to that. Because he he would be. I apologize. He would be available for game three. So they might not even get a chance to use him, which sucks because he's their number 2 pitcher. But you shouldn't have been in that spot at the end of the season. If you want to complain about that, you should have been able to line up your pitching nice and been in a comfortable spot, like my Phillies, I guess you could say, to have your guys going 1-2, 1-2 and 3, whatever. But time for the picks, I guess. I'll go first, I guess. I don't mind. I think Brewers in 3. I think they win the first game, and I think they win the last game. Improved offense this year. That's what we came at for the Brewers recently. The last couple of years, their offense is not good enough. They went out, they made some moves. We talked about this. They went out, made some moves, and I love their pitching. I think it'll be enough to get them past the young D-backs team. Kyle, where are you going with this?
I'm going Snakes in 3. I think they lose game 1. I think Corbin Burns shoves. But those next 2 games, I think they take the momentum in game 2, and I think game 3 is theirs as well. I'm kind of buying into this young team. I hope I'm not wrong because I'm excited for them. I want to see them succeed and keep going. They have a very good future, and I want a taste of what that's going to look like in this postseason. So for me, I'm going D-backs in 3.
Okay.
I'm with Kyle. I'm going D-backs in 3 too.
Wow.
I'm really high on this team for this series, at least. The country is finally going to get to see Corbin Carroll. Finally. I think he's going to have a big series along with Marte. And I think the same thing as Kyle. They're going to lose game 1, but then they're going to ride that pitch in games 2 and 3, and they're going to come into Dodger Stadium. That's what I think what's going to happen. Diamondbacks in 3.
Okay. So major upset from both of you guys there. Number 2 wild card spot. That would be upsetting number 3 team. Okay, interesting. We'll stay in the National League side. The other National League wild card matchup we got. I mean, come on now. Locked up all season long, basically. My Phillies in the number 1 wild card spot and facing on the Miami Marlins. I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. I'm very confident going into this series. It's easy because we ran through the playoffs last year the whole way to the World Series. Even then, I felt good up 2-1, but obviously not the ending we wanted there. Marlins are going to be pitching Jesus Luzardo game 1 and then Braxton Garrett game 2. Phillies have Wheeler and Nola lined up. So we got our guys. They got their guys mostly. I mean, Sandy Alcantara would have been nice for them to have him, but obviously dealing with some probably UCL injury of some sort with his elbow soreness there. I'm looking forward to this series. I think it's going to be a nice offensive series. Even with both of the teams having their pitching lined up pretty well. I'm ready for it. I'm excited. But maybe I'm just blind by the Phillies. Maybe this is a bad matchup for the Phillies. What do you guys think?
Matt, you better be careful.
Oh, no.
You better be careful. Phillies have expectations this year. Last year, they were the Cinderella team that, took out the Cardinals, took out the Braves, beat the Padres up 2-1 in the World Series. That was fun. I know it was fun for you. Expectations this year. You are expected to win this series. And, here comes a showdown with the Braves. Marlins are not that bad. I don't think they're going to win this series. Philly's got to be careful, though, because they have guys, too. Jake Berger, Jazz Chisholm, his first playoff game. What's that going to be like? Jorge Soler. They have the batting champ in the National League in Luis Ariz. They got guys that can put the ball in the bat, too. And like you said it, offensive series, I think that's what it's going to be. Phillies are better, no doubt about it. But this could potentially be, Phillies could be on upset alert here. Possibly. To me.
Okay. Kyle?
Yeah, no, I'm with Melo on this.
No.
The Marlins are sneaky. And it's a division series, right? The Marlins the Phillies games that I have watched, and I watch a lot, trust me. They have not been as easy as they should be against this Marlins team. For some reason, the Phillies, their Achilles heel seems to be in division opponents. And the Marlins have had the Phillies number quite a few times. And that's what I'm worried about for the Phillies. I'm also with Melo on the fact that I don't think the Marlins are winning this series, but I think they're going to give the Phillies a run for their money. And if they do overcome the series, I would not be shocked. I would not. They got guys over there. Melo named a few. Last time Jorge Soler was in the playoffs, we all know what happened. I'm just saying. I still think the Phillies got it. They are far better team than the Marlins on paper, but we'll see.
Okay. Man, got me all scared now. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. Phillies in 2. That's my prediction. Honestly, yep. Phillies sweep them.
I'm going Phillies in 3.
I am also going Phillies in 3.
Marlins win game 2. But evidently the better team prevails, and the Phillies win game 3.
All right. Hey, I'll take a Phillies series win no matter what, but ideally we don't lose any of these games. I sure hope. And I'm glad nobody at my work listens to this, because I will be watching any games that are on during my working hours if that's how the schedule lines up. I don't really care. So, anyway, on the American League side, some pretty fun matchups here, actually. I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually excited to see the Twins in the playoffs. I really think that they can break their curse this year. And I guess we'll start with that series. Blue Jays at Twins. We were just talking before we were recording about playoff ticket prices, and the Twins are very cheap. So if you live in that area, maybe
we'll
you consider. Them. Yeah, exactly. Go check out a game. Maybe use code ATD, $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Yeah, that works for football, basketball, baseball, Taylor Swift concerts,
Yes.
whatever. Um, so yeah, Twins, Blue Jays, great pitching on both sides, that's for sure. Um, the possibility, I would say, of good offense on both sides. But what do you guys feel about this series? Melo?
Blue Jays better win this series because it seems like the sky has been falling the last couple of years. Horrible playoff choke last year against the Mariners. Don't let that happen again. Because if you lose, and I'm not saying the Twins are a good team. Clearly they are. They deserve to be here. They're here for a reason. But if you lose this series to the Twins, in my opinion, might need to start looking at some changes to that lineup and to the roster. It's weird for me to say that because the Twins won the division and they have the home field. But I just think this Toronto team is better than them, and they should take care of them with the offense that they run out there every night. Should be enough, but I don't know.
Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Twins fan going into this series. I want the Twins to absolutely demolish them. Just because I'm with Melo on that. I think it's been however many years that we're waiting for this movie after the trailer from Vlad Guerrero. So, I mean, this is I'm not going to say their final shot at making some noise, but it's close, pretty damn close, and they need to do something. But yet again, we know what the Twins postseason history is in recent memory, mostly because of my Yankees. But anyway, they don't got to face them this year, so you never know what's going to happen. I still think it's going to be a fun series, though.
Definitely. Like I said, good pitching on both sides. Tomorrow's starters, Kevin Gossman up against Pablo Lopez. Love that. And then Wednesday, it's going to be looking like Sonny Gray for the Twins. TBD for the Blue Jays. You would think Chris Bassett, if he didn't just close out the season, you would think he'd be their number 2 pitcher. So great pitching on both sides. Twins in 3. I think the Twins will take care of business. I think people are sleeping on their team this year as a whole. Just because you don't watch them because they're in the Midwest, they're in the mid division. They literally coasted to AL Central win because nobody else was trying. So I do think they're better though. I think that their pitching is going to lead them to the ALDS, obviously, because if they win this series, that's where they go, Matt. That's how the playoffs work. Okay. Kyle, who you got?
Jays in 2.
Oh. Melo.
The thing that scares me the most is that everybody in the world from all these playoff brackets, most of them are picking Toronto because they want that big showdown with Toronto and Houston in the division series. I'm going to go Blue Jays in 3. Very hesitant, though. A lot of pressure on Toronto this year. Keep in mind, this team a couple weeks ago was like outside of the playoff picture. They almost didn't even make it.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a fresh start for them. They're at 0-0. Maybe this will be the start of something, but Toronto should win this series. To me, they're better on paper.
Yep. Definitely. All right. Last series here. I think potentially the best series. My opinion. Rangers, you blew it. You shouldn't even be playing in this game, frankly. It should be the Houston Astros, but that's another story. And Rangers are going to have to go down to the Trop now and play some afternoon East Coast baseball.
You won't know it, though.
Yeah, you won't know it in the Trop there. I mean, there's just so many ways you can go with this. Rangers pitching. What could have this been with DeGrom and Scherzer? Rangers bullpen, a big question mark. Rangers offense, insane. Rays pitching, really good. Rays injuries, though. Should that be a reason to not like them in this series? They got some significant injuries. I don't know. I don't know. First game looking like Jordan Montgomery and Tyler Glass now. From there, honestly, Rangers pitching, I don't know. Not a lot to, not too much. I guess Nate Eovaldi, he has some playoff experience, but I think it'll be a very exciting series. What do you guys have on it?
I'll go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think these offenses are two powerhouses. The Rangers, that offense can give you 15 plus runs a night. I mean, they're just that good, you know. But the pitching does worry me. I think Monty game one is going to be good and going up against Glass now. But after that, like you said, you got Evaldi. Then what? That's where it's a little worrisome. And we already know about the bullpen. There's no reason to touch on it. We all know it. But like I said, I think this offense is going to keep them in the game, in the series. But yet again, I mean, the Tampa Bay Rays, I will never count them out. They're that team. I know them very well, sadly. Yeah, they're just, I mean, no matter the injuries, no matter what, they find a way to come back. And if it wasn't for the O's and their youth struck down there, whatever it is, they wouldn't have to play this game. So yeah.
Outside of the Cubs completely choking on the final week, if it wasn't for that collapse, I think the Rangers would be I think they're the most disappointing team stumbling in here. Should not be in this series. And with the big lead that they had during the season, they should have took advantage of it and cakewalked this division. But, you know, injuries and just a bad bullpen, they didn't. I guess they did something. They were able to at least keep the Mariners from getting in, but that doesn't really say much right now. But like Kyle just said, something about these Rangers. I mean, Jesus, something about these Rays. They just figure out a way to win these games. Throw out last year. I know they lost to the Guardians. Yeah, this will be a good series. Great pitching versus great offense, and they're both going to collide, and it should be fun.
Who you got?
I'm going Rays in 3.
Okay.
Rays in 3 on this. I didn't like what I saw out of the Rangers the last couple weeks. Didn't like what I saw.
I personally think that their downfall and how bad it truly was is going to be the issue of this series. I'm going Rays in 3.
Okay. I think the Rays take care of business. Give me Rays in 2. I think that the combination of Tyler Glasnow and Zach Eflin in the first 2 games are going to be enough to shut down the Rangers bullpen. And the Trop's not a home field advantage, but if you're comfortable playing there, that's sort of a home field advantage at least. And obviously that's where they're playing. So I don't love it because I don't like the Rays. I don't think they're a very exciting team necessarily, other than Randy. Of course, we're excited to see Randy play some postseason ball. But other than that, I don't think they're a very exciting team overall. I would rather see the Rangers advance. I just don't think that's the case. I don't even know that there'll be a meltdown for the Rangers. I just don't think I'm not sure their offense is. Yeah, their offense is great. I'm just not sure that it's going to be enough to go up against these 2 aces. So, yeah, Rays in 2.
If the Rangers have a lead in one of these games in the later parts of the innings, get to the TV immediately, because you might see something spectacular with the Rays. Just saying. Who's going to close out these games? I don't know. I don't know.
Will Smith.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Not your Will Smith. And not the actor Will Smith. The other Will Smith.
Yes.
The
Third in the
other
pecking
Will Smith.
order.
Yes, he is.
Third in the pecking order.
Okay, real quick before we move on here, I want to just add one thing. Do you understand how badly I want to see the Rangers holding a lead and then going into the bottom of the ninth? Randy Arozarena off home run against Aroldis Chapman. I want to
Oh,
see it so damn bad. Oh man. Actually, I just want to see Aroldis Chapman get rocked. That's all. So
how
I
do you,
hope it's closing out games.
or Melo? Do you feel the same way? You hope that the Phillies put Craig Kimbrell in and he blows the big lead, or
No, because even with Craig Kimbrell on the roster, we still won 111 games last year. And the Dodgers were smart to not put him on the postseason roster. It would have been one thing if he spit the bid against the Padres, and that was the reason why we lost. That wasn't the case. So have fun, Kimbrell. Glad he's getting another crack at it.
I don't think he's going to be closing out games. If I had to
Okay.
guess, I don't
Is he
think
on the
he'll be
roster?
closing. I think so.
You'd assume so.
Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah, we're looking forward to these games, these matchups here, and we'll be coming back on Friday or whenever, Thursday or Friday, when these series could be over or could be just finishing up. We'll have to see how the series go, obviously, and yeah, that's gonna do it. Unless you guys got anything else you want to add, Melo, Kyle, no,
Nope.
no, perfect.
Enjoy it,
All right,
Dodger fans. Nothing to stress out about just yet.
that's right.
Enjoy the week.
Yeah, I think every baseball fan is going to enjoy the week, even if your team's not in. Adopt a playoff team. Really, come on, have some fun with it. Not the Dodgers. Come on now.
Oh, okay.
Adopt the D-backs or maybe the Marlins.
Orioles.
I guess Orioles.
You're not an
Definitely.
American League team
Yeah,
or an AL East team.
yeah. Even if you are, I feel like they're pretty lovable. But yeah, Kyle says no.
No.
I think so. All right. That's going to do it for episode 43. We'll see you again next week. Playoff baseball. Here we are. Let's go.
Adios.